What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Andy 13, her level 30, or in this case 29 castle for the day. So yeah, let's jump into it. It shouldn't be too difficult, but not probably, but I might still die. Level 29 can be difficult, but it should be doable at least. Alright, so I don't really mind hitting mouse wheels all that much. I actually would have preferred it to this. This is a lot more dangerous. Had I hit that mouse wheel trap, I probably wouldn't have been in this bad of a situation. I think I'm actually just going to step back if I can. That is probably going to be the best thing for me to do right now. I don't normally kite back to the entrance room. It's actually pretty rare for me to do this. But there's so much stuff going on in that room that I think being able to fight that group safely is going to make this castle a lot easier for me. Normally I go forward, but I didn't have really a safe passage forward, so we're just going to kite back here for a little bit, make sure that everything came out, and then we'll go back in. There's nothing super dangerous as I'm going in, it's mostly the monsters in there. Like the Zeeks that were hitting me are the main issue. So here comes some of those Zeeks now. Alright, this is probably everything. Much better. So this is most likely going to make it so that I don't hit my time. I probably won't hit 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But that's okay. So, like I said, this is only a couple hundred damage to get hit by a mouse wheel trap, but once you get thrown you have a super amount of stun immunity. So it's almost worth it to do that. And I'll use one potion because I feel like I should have used one potion in this room. Pretty heavy on the point values. Alright, and then just leap over all of those. The main reason is I think there's only 3. But the same thing is said with stun immunity, basically. It's anything that stuns you, so mouse wheel traps are included in this. And the reasoning that I will never use mouse wheel traps before a springboard trap is if you build up stun immunity like this, you'll notice that when I get thrown, I actually don't get stunned at all. Like, you can make it so that you have almost full immunity to stun. And so fire mine traps will never work if you have mouse wheel traps beforehand and the attacker knows that. Also, you only have 3 mouse wheel traps here, so you can like leap over them without actually getting hit. And one of them throws you backwards, so again, you could build up stun immunity that way. So there's a couple reasons why that fire mine thing shouldn't work against a good attacker. The only problem is when you have springboard traps that are throwing you like away from the fire mines, it's actually hard for an attacker to tell if it's going to throw you that way. And if you test it and you're wrong, you could just end up dead from that. So that's one thing about springboard traps like that. It's kind of hard to tell exactly which way it's going to throw you beforehand. And if you make a mistake on those, you can just die from it. Alright, let's finish this off. I'm going to kill off the Zeke because he's so far down this way. Then I'm going to go for the other Zeke. Those are the two main damage dealers, so if I can kill off those, I'll be okay. I'm interested to see how these countesses behave now that they got buffed. They do seem like they have a ton more resistance and hit points to me, but I'm not sure yet. I need to test them myself. I need to throw them in like a controlled environment and take a look. Because they were okay in what do you call it? Before open creation, they were decent units. Oh god, that could kill me. I'm also unsure about Jimbos as well. They said they got their damage reworked. I don't know if that means that their damage at level 26 got nerfed, or if it got buffed at the lower levels to compensate because they got so good at level 26. I'm really unsure of that. And if they nerfed it at level 26, I'd be pretty sad. Because I think Jimbos should almost always one-hit on heavy-handed, because it takes them so long to charge up their swing. If you haven't dodged it by then you deserve to get, punished for it, I think. I think that's just one of those units that I thought was in a pretty good place, Jimbo on heavy-handed, because he doesn't hit much, but when he does, it should be worth it. But yeah, that was our number 1, so we're going to jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have OhYeahGamer, cast levels of 19. So let's jump into it.
Let's get him, Mr. Pointy.
Alright. Couple ballista traps. Those are, I believe, normal tiles, so there's no springboard trap setup coming. Okay, so this is similar to something that I used to set up like this. This is normally not how I handle this. I normally actually run past it. But just because a lot of people behave this way, I want to behave this way as well. Alright, and then there's this setup as well, and then we have some fire mines. This is different up in here. There's a Scorpio, 2 Stairmasters on teleport, which is fine. Let me take a look at this. I also want to see which way this is throwing you. Good, that's correct. So you can see I still get hit by that. And then the rest of this is going to be kind of easy just because I'm a high level. Those two didn't aggro. That's one thing that you should keep in mind, is that these two guys did not aggro. So I could have technically skipped them if I didn't attack them. So something you might want to do is like put a Snotter somewhere maybe in between here and just have them linked to that, looking towards this way. So when they come up through that springboard trap, they'll get aggroed as well. That'll help out. And then the rest of this looks like it's just empty. So the proper way to run this castle for quickness would be to run past everything and hope that you get past that fire mine. Once you get past the fire mines, you can run in here and have this large open space to fight everything. And you could probably do this castle quite a bit quicker. For your specific time, you could probably get it down to like 1:20. That's what I was doing for the majority of my castle. Like, when everybody was asking me how I did this specific castle really quickly, like 1:11 I think was my lowest time, I was running past everything, getting to the boss room and killing everything there, and then finishing it. And with high enough DPS, I was able to get it down to 1:11, which no one was really able to compete at that time. Because when you enter a castle for the first time, if you don't know the layout yourself, you're never going to just rush past everything like as quickly as you can do when you know where everything is. So, yeah, we'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and for number 3 we have Spongebobzz. Cast level is in 18. It was validated with the Archer. So let's jump into it. Same level as the previous one. Previous castle that we went through. Alright, so we have a spike tunnel. Unfortunately, spike tunnels are quite a bit weaker until you get up to level 24 spike traps. And the reason for that is they only have 2 active panels. Like, there's a ton of situations that right there that I would have actually gotten hit by spikes if they had been triple panel spike panels. Unfortunately, with only 2 panels active, there's a lot of situations where I just won't get hit by them. Also, their damage is a lot lower than it will be at level 24 also. So that's just something to keep in mind. Lots of Pete Poundmores. Pete Poundmore also gets quite a bit better at level 20, specifically. Because I believe that is his tier 4 mark. So if people are kind of new to the game and they don't understand, I know there's a lot of new people that have been brought in by open beta. Basically, the game works on this little tiering system and stuff like you can notice when you look over a creature's head, or like in the research tab or whatever, however many times you've upgraded them, they go from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 to tier 4 and so on. When they hit tier 4, usually something happens. Either they get a new ability, or they gain a significant amount of power or something like that. So if you'll notice that spike traps at level 24, they'll be tier 4, and they'll gain their 3rd active panel. At level 20, Pete Poundmores will gain their tier 4, and I believe they just gain either a significant amount of power, or I think on like the over the head smash, they stun you for a little bit longer, they do more damage. On the punch combo thing, I believe they do 1 extra punch every other turn. So I think they attack twice, then attack 3 times, or attack 3 times both turns, or I'm not sure, but I think they gain an extra punch. On their charge, I believe it's just extra damage. But basically, they gain a little bit of extra. Like Hungerbots and Scorpios, they used to gain a longer hook and a faster hook. I'm not sure if that's even the case anymore. I know they got nerfed pretty heavily, so that used to be a thing, and they're just like different things like that. Battering rams, like at tier 4, will gain a fire trail and stuff like that. Just little things like that, I guess, at every tier 4, and then tier 7 is the next one where an upgrade happens for creatures and traps. But yeah, if people weren't aware of that, that's basically what to look for. So, tier 4 is generally when things get a pretty big upgrade. You'll notice, like, Jimbos, although they've been reworked, it used to be that once they hit level 26, which was their tier 4, they would be able to one-shot you. They'd go from, like, 800 damage on heavy-handed to 2600 damage or something. It was a crazy big buff. And I think if they rounded that stuff out a little bit more, it would probably be good for the game. But yeah, this is number 3, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, that was number 3. So we're going to end the video here. As always, if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of your castles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. I'm taking level 16 and above castles right now. And yeah, I'll get to your castle whenever I have time. There's a spreadsheet in the description where you can kind of check where your name is and all of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.